Good morning. Welcome to another one-line meditation. Brach is our teacher for this week. And just before I share with you a message from her that beautifully leads us into our meditation today, I want to remind you that some great ways of making sure that your meditation is as much of an inner experience as possible is to try and eliminate as much of the outside disturbances as you possibly can. Somebody, very good morning, and Linda, good morning. It is awesome seeing you here. Welcome to the halfway mark of the week. Some of the simplest ways of making sure we have as much of an inner experience as possible is to just make sure your space is as dark as you can. Switch the lights off, make sure the curtains are drawn. And if it's already really light where you are, maybe a sleeping mask helps to keep as much of the light outside. And then, of course, earphones. If you're able to plug earphones into your phone or your computer, whatever you're doing this meditation through, it's always a good idea because less outside noise means more focus, inwardly less distraction. So if you're ready, let's get into today's message from Brach. Estelle, a very good morning. It is awesome seeing you. Hello. First thought from Brach. She says, become a witness to your thoughts. Become a witness to your thoughts. Just one simple sentence. And if you've meditated with us much at all before, you'll be very familiar with this idea that we can become the witness, we can be the observer to our thinking. And so much of old philosophy tries to teach this and say, the thoughts you have, that's not who you are. The thoughts you have is a product of a brain doing what a brain does. You can be a step backwards and be the witness, be the observer of what the thoughts are busy doing. Anthony, good morning. It's awesome seeing you, man. The next thought from Brach says, each time you meet an old emotional pattern with presence, your awakening to truth can deepen. Each time you have awareness of an old emotional pattern doing what it does, then there's a little bit more of an awakening happening. There is less identification with the self in the story and more ability to rest in the awareness that is witnessing what is happening. It's like we're practicing taking that step back. The more we practice taking a step back and seeing the thoughts, the better we become at not being consumed by the thoughts. You become more able to abide in compassion, to remember and trust your true home. Rather than cycling repetitively through old conditioning, you are actually spiraling towards freedom. Spiraling is so easily used in a negative sense. She says we could spiral in the other direction too. We could become freer and freer with every experience. So if I can take a step outside of myself and look at myself in this way, then which part of me is doing the seeing? Which part of me is this that is looking? In Buddhist philosophy, there's a term for this. It's called wisely seeing. And I love that so much. It's simple, but it paints a really good picture for me. To be able to be wisely seeing. With practice, it means that I step outside of my old automatic response and I'm giving myself the opportunity to exercise actual freedom of choice instead of letting an old program do my decision-making for me. The last thought from Brach just before we get started says, feeling compassion for ourselves in no way releases us from responsibility for our actions. And I want you to really take that in. Treating ourselves with kindness, being gentle with ourselves, as she says, feeling compassion for ourselves, in no way releases us from responsibility for our actions. Rather, it releases us from the self-hatred And it is the self-hatred that prevents us from actually responding to our life with clarity and balance. So talking about that balance, can you take responsibility without self-judgment? Are you able to be accountable, hold yourself accountable without self-criticism? The truth is, this is what love is. This is what love does. It's able to take responsibility and also not judge. It's able to be accountable and also not criticize. Become a witness to your thoughts when you find yourself being able to see every part of you with acceptance, and also take responsibility for how you want to do things differently. You gain access to a whole new level of potential. So if you're ready, let's slip in. Our meditation today is called The Observer, and we're simply practicing that. You can close your eyes and let's take the first few big breaths together. Take a deep breath in and out. A deep breath in and out. A deep inhale and let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in and let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, feel yourself grow from your core and expand in all directions. And once you've reached your full height, then again let all of it go. As you exhale, soften. With every breath out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and even drop your head. While you continue your full body breathing, rising with every inhale and falling with every exhale, join me for a simple visualization. Sometimes when we are stuck in difficult times, it can feel a bit like being caught in a storm, treading water while you're being hit by wave after wave. Have you had that experience? It feels like you can barely lift your head out of the water to take a breath before you're hit by the next wave. A very real feeling. Being the witness, being the observer, allows us to see this experience, allows us to be slightly elevated and look down and see, I can see that I feel like I'm caught in a storm. I can see that I'm struggling to take a breath, and it feels like the next wave is right on top of me even before I can get my lungs full. I can look and see wisely and understand that this human is really struggling. And there's a big difference between being caught up in all the thoughts and emotions in the storm, or softening and taking a step back to look and see and understand what I'm feeling, but realizing I'm not actually in the storm, but this is what it feels like. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch, adjust, and settle into as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. Take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles forward and to the left, and also forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. Imagine you are a sunflower, turning your face to the sun and swaying in the breeze. Lean your upper body over to the left. Lean your upper body over to the right. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence as much as we are able to for this moment, we can turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this would be a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, then with every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. Let's take a deep breath in. And hold. As you release, make it the longest, slowest exhale that you can. Take a deep breath in. And hold. As you release, feel into your body and invite softness in. Feel how every muscle softens. Take a deep breath in. And hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. Feel how you are slowly slipping deeper and deeper into you. One more big breath in. And hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath. But hold it only for as long as it feels easy. Followed by the longest, slowest exhale. with your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, I want to remind you of what you're doing. You're accessing your own ability to see, to be the witness, the observer. And as you take your next big breath, remind yourself that you could completely feel like you're being consumed by the storm, or you could elevate yourself, take a step back, and you can recognize and understand that this human feels like he or she is being consumed by the storm. Take your next big breath. I want you to reach for a memory and visualize it as recent as possible. And if you don't have a recent memory, then search further back. Specifically, I want you to find a memory of yourself being really triggered. This might have been with a close family member, a partner, a child, a parent, a sibling, a moment where someone really triggered you. It might have been out somewhere in public. You were shopping or maybe in a restaurant, and something that someone else did really triggered you. Or you could have been driving. We all have some examples of driving and being really triggered by a bad driver, being completely inconsiderate to the humans around them. Can you remember a moment like this, either recently or maybe further back, where you became highly triggered by something someone else did or said? Take your next big breath. It's completely normal for a human body to remember an experience and become flooded with the same emotions again. And often when we are triggered, it is because of old experiences becoming alive in our body once again. We're practicing being the observer, and one option is to be consumed by the same old thoughts and feelings, or raise yourself up a little bit. Pick yourself up out of the water. Look down and see this human and the experience that he or she was going through when she felt so triggered. Step outside yourself and witness. Witness the event again. See what they did and see your response. Take your next big breath. To make the memory even clearer, can you remember what you were wearing that day? When you look at you being triggered, can you see the clothes you're wearing? Take your next big breath. Can you remember the thoughts going through your head in that moment of being highly triggered? Can you remember what thoughts you were thinking? Take your next big breath. While you're observing this past version of you, can you remember your body language? What was the expression on your face? How were you moving your arms? Take your next big breath. And what were the words that came out of your mouth? Take your next big breath. if you have any hard feelings towards this version of you, I'd like you to try and soften it. One quick big breath in slowly and out. And soften. Can I look at a past version of me and feel kindness? Feel gentleness and compassion? And can I still say, next time, I'd like to do it differently? And if the same scenario were to repeat itself, if the same person would do this or say the same thing, how would you like to respond differently? With your next big breath as you dive deep into you, what would you like your thoughts to be? If you had the opportunity to repeat the experience again, take your next big breath. If you had the opportunity to repeat the experience again, what would you want your body language to look like? What would you want the expression on your face to be? Take your next big breath. And if you had the opportunity to repeat the same experience again, what words would you want to speak? What would be the words that come out of your mouth? Take your next big breath. Take the last few big breaths of this phase together, slipping out of the breath holding space and into the next. Let's take a deep breath in. And hold. As you release. Take the longest, slowest exhale that you can. Take a deep breath in. And hold. As you release, invite softness into every cell in your body. One more big breath in. And hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. Do we have to make one part of ourselves, one version of ourselves wrong and another right in order to recognize where to grow? Or can we just be the witness, observe, see wisely, and recognize where to take accountability and where to make change? I'll share with you Tara Brach's thoughts again. She says, become a witness to your thoughts. Each time you meet an old emotional pattern with presence, your awakening to truth can deepen. There is less identification with the self in the story and more ability to rest in the awareness that is witnessing what is happening. You become more able to abide in compassion, to remember and to trust your true home. Rather than cycling repetitively through old conditioning, you're actually spiraling towards freedom. Feeling compassion for ourselves in no way releases us from responsibility for our actions. Rather, feeling compassion for ourselves releases us from the self-hatred. And it is the self-hatred that prevents us from responding to our life with clarity and balance. Can you take responsibility without self-judgment? Can you be accountable without self-criticism? This is exactly what love is. Become a witness to your thoughts. When you find yourself being able to see every part of you with acceptance and also take responsibility for how you want to do things differently, then you gain access to a whole new level of potential. Complete acceptance and also taking action. Really soft and also really solid. A whole new level of potential. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning how to take a step outside of myself and take a look at myself. breath in. Thank you for having learned how to completely put down the judgment and the criticism when I look at myself, whether I am completely happy with what I'm seeing, with the actions, or perhaps I can really see room for improvement. I'm very happy to have completely put down judgment. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning that if I still hold judgment, there's actually no way I can fully look at myself. Because if I'm judging, a part of me would still be trying to look away. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for kindness, gentleness, and compassion when I look at the human that I am. And also, at the same time, clearly seeing where I want to take new steps, where I'd like to do things better, where I'd rather not repeat an old habit again. Action and also acceptance. Being really soft, but also really solid. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for embracing the observer in you. And thank you for embracing the very human you as well. Good morning, Neil. Thanks for popping in. I hope you had a little bit of time to sit down with us. Thanks, somebody. Happy to have you all right here. Thank you, Linda, Anthony, Estelle, and whoever else might be in the background. Lots of love to you all. Become the observer of your thoughts. And I love that term, wisely seeing. The other term in Buddhist philosophy calls it the naked observer, I think. I can't remember the term, but it means to be able to see everything that is there and not turn my head from anything. And it tries to describe that we just can't get there while we're judging what we're seeing. If we're trying to look but also criticizing, then we'll always be hiding parts of ourselves from ourselves. I love your comment, Anthony. Thank you. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Wishing you lots of acceptance for every part of you, and also taking action where action needs to be taken. Have a beautiful day. See you soon. Ciao, ciao.